Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Orion in the Dark, a new animated film coming your way from Netflix, from director Sean Charmatz, who's making his directorial debut, but written by Charlie Kaufman. And this is for kids, so that's interesting. And this particular film focuses on Orion, a young boy who's afraid of basically everything, has extreme anxiety, and winds up befriending Dark and going on this magical journey to get a better understand of darkness and all the other entities that bring the night to life. And this is such an inventive, bold, and ambitious film that, like, there's definitely elements where you realize this is definitely Charlie Kaufman. Like, our character Orion is so anxious about everything. And there's great visual representations of his anxieties in his head that are fun and interesting and different in terms of animation. But also, like, there's a weight to this film because it doesn't shy away from these challenging things that people deal with on a day-to-day basis. And I'm really impressed by this film and how well it tackles those things. It's also narratively ambitious. There's, like, not to go too much into it, and I don't want to spoil anything for anybody, but there's interesting levels of framing devices in this film, as it turns out, that adds so many layers to the way the story plays out, and also thematically tackles something very interesting in terms of the dynamic of, us telling stories. And that's such an interesting thing that this film tackles. It's beautiful. Like, the characters look odd a bit, like the humans, but like how they bring darkness to life, and each of these characters, like the entities of sleep and insomnia and dreams, they're so interesting in the way that they're animated. And certainly the way that they represent darkness coming over the world and light is so beautiful, ambitious, and interesting in a way that I didn't think that I would see in like a film like this, and it really works. And it really sells the visuals, the experience of this film. And you want to see these characters going off all around the world, experiencing these different kinds of things. I think Jacob Tremblay, who plays Orion, does a great job. And Paul Walter Hauser, who plays Dark, really brings so much to the table in terms of this character. You even have, like, Werner Herzog, who's doing, like, narration. But you have the likes of Angela Bassett and Nat Faxon and Natasha Demetrio from What We Do in the Shadows. They're just so... And, like, Ike Barinholtz as Light. And all of these different characters brought to life. And I feel like the film does struggle sometimes with, like, keeping a narrative thrust to it. But what it does with each of these characters and fleshing them out and giving them personality really works and is interesting and dynamic. And this really does feel like Charlie Kaufman has his fingerprints on here, because there's some complex ways that this film tries to tell its story and get to its satisfying conclusions for its stories. And you can tell that Kaufman's script had some very interesting ideas on how to portray that. I think Charmatz does a really great job behind the camera, bringing this all together, his animation team delivering an engaging and interesting film to look at. But there's so many layers in terms of the themes of importance of darkness and storytelling and all these things, that there's some real heavy weight to the emotion that comes across in this film. And really impressed by just how much effort went into this film. Even if it's a little too bold, it's a little too ambitious, it does hit a lot. And it is such a fun time, and this cast is incredible, and just being there with them throughout this film is such a delight. And in the end, this is quite the impactful little film that will be coming your way come Netflix. But those are my thoughts on Orion in the Dark. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.